Yeah, viewers and subscribers, another Premier League season about to kick off, So, before the season starts, just want to take some time and highlight some of these teams, and the expectations that we have of them for this coming season. 20 teams, not sure we'll be able to go over all 20 of them. But myself, Sports with Greg, along with DJ from MD Entertainment channel. You can look him up on YouTube also, and my boy Blackstar, who is normally a guest on Fury Sports TV or on my channel, Wizards of Sports. They will be doing videos as well, highlighting some of these teams and their expectations of them for the coming season. So I want to start off with Leeds United, and the expectations that I hear some people saying they have of them is not so good right now. I've heard people say they expect them to get relegated because, in all fairness, they have lost their two best players from last season in Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. But that's what, about £105 million they got for them. They have spent about 95 out of it, and I think are currently third behind Arsenal and Manchester City as the highest spenders in the Premier League so far this window. They have gotten two really good replacements in Mark Roca. They got him from Bayern Munich. He was in the Spanish league before. I remember his last season in La Liga. He was on par with Thomas Partey. They were like the two best players in that position in La Liga that season that he left and went to Germany. So they got Mark Roca and Tyler Adams from Red Bull Leipzig, the American central defensive midfielder. They have gotten him both of those, and as replacements for Rafinha, they have gotten Brendan Aronson. Now he's coming from Red Bull Salzburg over there in the Austrian league. And I have watched him since he was in the MLS. He's a young American attacking midfielder, and he is very good. In the mold of Christian Pulisic, but probably a bit more body in him. So I expect him to perform pretty good over there. But the one that I'm really looking forward to see for them is Luis Sinisterra. He's a Colombian winger. They got him from Feyenoord. Plays pretty similar to Luis Diaz. So with Sinisterra and Brendan Aronson, pretty good replacements for Rafinha. Probably not as skillful as Rafinha or as game-changing as Rafinha, but I can see them filling that void that he has left. They also got Helder Costa. I don't know if you guys remember him. He played for them, I think, the season before last, and he also played for Wolves a few seasons ago. So he's no stranger to the Premier League, and one more signing that they brought in, the coach also got a right back from Red Bull Salzburg. So he rated his old team for about 2 or 3 players. And, good additions, if you ask me. Very good additions. It's just how they fit into his system. And since he have coached a few of these players before, I don't think it will be that hard for them to get in the team chemistry and fit in. So, yeah, lots to look forward there from Leeds, if you ask me. I see them finishing a little below the mid-table mark, probably about 12 or 13, if you ask me.
Now let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool lost Sadio Mane. It's a big loss. Nunes came in, seems good so far. I think he still has some adjustment to do. Diaz was there for the second half of last year. Very good start. Hope that it continues. That's the goal. Salah finally got paid. The goals, I believe, are gonna keep going on. That youngster we signed, Carvalho, I am looking for big things from him this year. I'm also looking for big things from Harvey Elliott. I think he had a great start to the season last year before he got injured. Klopp has a lot more toys. He has 5 changes this year. How is he gonna make that work? We're in for the quadruple again, so let's see how that works also. I do believe that the World Cup is going to be a big thing, but what? Salah is not playing in the World Cup this year, so will that be a benefit or a negative against him? All in all, I believe Liverpool will go on and win the title this year. I think they will slay the Dragons. So let's just go Reds. And, it's one more year. We're going for it all again, and the Reds will do it. That's my prediction. Well, let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal did some great business, I definitely think that the Jesus signing was our needed one. And as with most fantasy players, we envision him hitting the ground running, and that's why he's probably what they say is the highest ownership in fantasy in the history, over 70%. Zinchenko is gonna be another good signing. His ability to play multiple positions does benefit them, but the fact that the left back at Arsenal, Tierney, is always injured, Zinchenko is gonna be a valid addition for Arsenal. Overall, what they have done, I think, over the last 2 years, they have strengthened that team. That team is much better than what it was before. And Arteta is under the gun now. He has to produce, and if he doesn't, I think he's going to be one of the first one on the chopping block. They have lost their backup goalkeeper, Leno. I think that is not good when you lose a proven Premier League player like that as a backup. But it's always good because it's just one injury away from needing to draw that person in. But overall, I think I like what Arsenal do, and I think that they are going to be right there for the top 4 battle, and it's my prediction that they will get into the top 4 this year. Aston Villa did their business early. First bit of business was to make sure they wrap up the Philip Coutinho signing a permanent deal. That young man, Baboka Kamara from Marseille, which they got on a free, I think. Also somebody to look out for this year. Diego Carlos, the Sevilla centre back, will he be an improvement? Will he adapt to the Premier League? One of the thing about him is that everybody says he's a rash tackler and he does some of those crazy things. Will he upgrade on Tyrone Mings? I think definitely Gerrard is going to be on there this year. There's going to be a lot that people are looking for, and if not, he's going to go on the candidate to be on the hot seat very early. So, will Aston Villa improve on what they did last year? I am projecting them to be in the top 10. They definitely need to make that progression and try to push for Europe. But it's all depending on how well Gerrard does with that squad. He's gonna be under the gun, but I think I really like the business that they did, and I project them to be a top 10 team and contending for that European spot come the end of the season.
So yeah, I'll start at Liverpool. As I said earlier in a previous video, Liverpool is in a good position. I'm expecting them to win this league. It won't be, well, it's probably going to be as close as previous seasons. They won't be running away with it. Of course, they will separate themselves. Both them and Manchester City will separate themselves from the rest of the teams. But Liverpool, they brought in Nunes, and that's a good signing. In pre-season at one stage, they were making fun of him, but then he went on and scored. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 goals. And then the Community Shield, he scored 1 goal and get an assist. And suddenly, all the Liverpool fans are happy. So yeah, Liverpool, expecting them to win the league. So yeah, moving on. Next team, Arsenal. I previously said as well, I think they'll finish 3rd. They brought in, they've done some good business, especially Jesus. I think he's going to score a lot of goals this season, and they're playing to his strength. Chelsea, well, I'm not laughing at them, but I just think I have this feeling that they're going to struggle to finish in the top 4. Well, my team, Manchester United, I said earlier,
sixth position. I'm not going to go too much into my reason for that thinking. But I move on to, let's say, Bournemouth. Bournemouth is one of the teams I think will be relegated. I don't think they did enough to stay in the league. I mean, in terms of signings, you need to bring in players to make that big step up from the Championship to the Premier League, and I don't think they did enough. Fulham, it's one of those yo-yo team, up and down. One season they're up, the next season they're down, then the next season they're up again, and they're depending on one striker to score all the goals. Of course, they did some business as well, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them. So yeah, I won't be speaking about all the teams. We're just some random selection of teams, and we'll be doing a lot of these kind of videos between now and the end of the season. So yeah, you can look forward to it. Like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, Sports with Greg, Wizards of Sports TV.